Oh, shalom, and welcome to Torah and Coffee. Nothing like Torah and coffee. Today we're going to be reading Numbers chapter 4, starting on verse 21, and go all the way to chapter 7, verse 89, followed by Judges chapter 13, verse 2 through 25, and then we're going to read in the BeritHadasah, otherwise known as the New Testament, in the book of Acts 21, starting on verse 17 to 32. So, hey, get your coffee, get your Bibles, and read along and receive a blessing. Yes, have some coffee or tea for you ladies. Killing some. I hope you're feeling better. We've been praying for you, and we've been praying for everybody else out there. Oh, by the way, let me share something with you before we go into the reading of the Torah portion. This Wednesday, we're going to celebrate Shavuot, or Pentecost, as it is known to most of you. And I know it's early. It's Wednesday. Pentecost is this Sunday, but most of you people want to celebrate Father's Day, so we decided to do Pentecost early at Lake Murrah in Lakeland, Florida, downtown. We're right behind the fire station, and we're going to be celebrating Pentecost. We're going to have something special. We're going to try to get Pakistan online to participate with us and to share, and then we're going to celebrate, and we're going to give praise to our God, Yahweh, for allowing us to be there for 3 years, this Pentecost. Excuse me. So, we're going into our 4th, and you know, the real blessing, it never rained yet on a Wednesday while we're out there. We may have to go undercover because it's too wet in the grass. The water collects and all that stuff, and we can't sit in the wet stuff or stand in the wet and water. Well, we could, but as long as we have a dry place to go, and we're still facing the lake, so we're there no matter what, come rain or shine, snow or hail, tornado or hurricane, we are there praying. And we're going to be celebrating that. We're going to thank God that we can celebrate and that we can participate. I always tell people that Yeshua, otherwise known as Jesus, died for us, and they say, oh yeah, well, yeah. I go, well, then we can go out there and pray no matter what. We own that much and more, but we can give them 1 hour. Remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he took his 3 disciples, and then he asked them, why can't you just pray for 1 hour? Well, we're doing it. It may not be in the middle of the night, but we are doing it. We're praying for at least an hour. Sometimes we go over. Last year, we extended an hour and made it to 12. But this year, I'm waiting for it to be extended again. And it'll come. Just a little faith and trust in God. We pray for at least an hour, hour and a half. So, thank God we're out there praying for our city. Why don't you find a place where you can go out in public, in the marketplace, and pray for an hour in a park, by a playground? Pray for the people around you. Well, enough said. Let's get right into our Torah subject, Numbers chapter 4, starting on verse 21. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, "Take a census of Gershonites also, by the ancestral house and by their clans. Record them from the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who are subject to serve in the performance of tasks of the tent of meeting." Tent of meeting is the tabernacle of God, or as we know it, tabernacle of Moses out in the wilderness. These are the duties of the Gershonite clans as to labor and portage. 25. They shall carry the clothes of the Mishkan, the tent of meeting, with its covering, the covering of dolphin skin that is on top of it, and the screen of the entrance of the tent of meeting, and hanging of the enclosure, the screen at the entrance of the gate of the enclosure that surrounds the Mishkan, the court sarab, and the mishbaya, and all the service equipment, and all the accessories, and they shall perform the service. All the duties of the Gershonites shall their portage and all their service shall be performed in order for Aaron and his sons. You shall make them responsible for attending to all their portage. Those are the duties of the Gershonite clans for the tent of meeting. They shall attend to them under the direction of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the Cohen. As for the Merarites, you shall record them by the clans of their ancestral house. 30. You shall record them from age of 30 years up to age of 50, all who are subject to service in the performance of their duties of the tent of meeting. These are the portage tasks in connection with the various duties for the tent of meeting, the clans, the bars, the posts, and the sockets of the Mishkan. The posts around the enclosure and the sockets, pegs, and cords, all these furnishings and their service, you shall list by name the objects that are the portage tasks. These are the duties of Merarites clans pertaining to the various duties of the tent of meeting, under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the Cohen. So Moshe, Aaron, and the chieftain of the community recorded the Kohathites by the clans of their ancestral house. 35. From the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who were subject to service for work relating to the tent of meeting, those recorded by the clans, came to 2,750. That was the enrollment of Kohathites clan. Those who performed duties relating to the tent of meeting, when Moshe and Aaron recorded at the command of Yahweh through Moshe. The Gershonites, who were recorded by the clan of their ancestral house, from the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who were subject to serve for work related to the tent of meeting, those recorded by the clans of their ancestral house, came to 2,630. 41. That was the enrollment of the Gershonites clan, all those performing duties relating to the tent of meeting from Moshe, whom Moshe and Aaron recorded at the command of Yahweh. The enrollment of the Merarites clan by the clans of the ancestral house, from the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who were subject to service for the work related to the tent of meeting. Those recorded by the clans came to 3,225. That was the enrollment of the Merarites clan, which Moshe and Aaron recorded at the command of Yahweh through Moses. 46. All the Levium whom Moshe and Aaron, the chieftain of Israel, recorded by the clans of their ancestral house, from the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who were subject to duties for service and portage relating to the tent of meeting. Those recorded came to 8,580. Each one was given responsibility for the service and portage at the command of Yahweh through Moshe, and each was recorded as Yahweh had commanded Moses. Chapter 5. Verse 1. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, instruct the Israelites to remove from camp anyone who with an eruption or a discharge and anyone defiled by a corpse. Remove male and female alike. Put them outside the camp, so that they do not defile the camp of those in whose midst I dwell. The Israelites did so, putting them outside the camp, as Yahweh had spoken to Moshe. So the Israelites did. 5. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the Israelites when a man or woman commits any wrong toward a fellow man, thus breaking faith with Yahweh, and the person realizes his guilt. He will confess the wrong that he has done. He shall make restitution in the principal amount and add 1/5 to it, giving it to him whom he has wronged. If the man has no kinsman to whom restitution can be made, the amount repaid shall go to Yahweh for the Kohen, in addition to the ram of expectation, with which expiation is made on his behalf. So too, any gift among the sacred donations that the Israelites offer shall be the Kohen's. 10. And each shall retain his sacred donations. Each Kohen shall keep what is given to him. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Bnei Israel, and say to them, if any man's wife has gone astray and broken faith with him. Bnei Israel means the sons of Israel, okay? In that a man has had carnal relations with her, unbeknown to her husband, and she keeps secret the fact that she is defiled herself without being forced, and there is no witness against her. But if a jealousy comes over him, and he has wrought up about the wife who has defiled himself, or if a fit of jealousy comes over one, and he is wrought up about his wife, although she has not defiled herself. 15. That man shall bring his wife to the Kohen, and he shall bring as an offering for her 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. No oil shall be poured upon it, no frankincense shall be laid on it, for it is a meal offering of jealousy, a meal offering of remembrance, which recalls wrongdoing. The Kohen who shall bring her forward and have her stand before Yahweh. The Kohen shall take sacred water in the earthen vessel, and take some of the earth that is in the flour of the Mishkan. I'm sorry. 17 again. The Kohen shall take sacred water in the earthen vessel, and take some of the earth that is on the floor of the Mishkan. The Kohen shall put it on the water, and he has made the woman stand before Yahweh. The Kohen shall bear the woman's head, and place upon her hands the meal offering of remembrance, which is a meal offering of jealousy. And the Kohen's hand shall be the water of bitterness that induces the spell. The Kohen shall adjust the woman, saying to her, if no man has lain with you, if you have not gone astray in defilement while married to your husband, be immune to harm from this water of bitterness that induces the spell. 20. But if you have gone astray while married to your husband and have defiled yourself, if a man other than your husband has had carnal relations with you, here the Kohen shall administer the curse of adjuring to the woman, as the Kohen gives on to say to the woman, may Yahweh make you a curse and an impeachment among your people, as Yahweh causes your thigh, your side, and your belly to distend. May this water that includes the spell enter your body, causing the belly to distend and the thigh to sag, and the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. The Kohen shall put these curses down in writing and rub it on the arm into the water of bitterness. He is to make the woman drink the water of bitterness that includes the spell, so that the spell-inducing water may enter into her to bring bitterness. (25) Then the Kohen shall take from the woman's hand the meal offering of jealousy, elevate the meal offering before Yahweh, and present it on the Mizpah. The Kohen shall scoop out of the meal offering, or a token part of it, and turn it into smoke in the Mizpah. Last he shall make the woman drink the water. Once he has made her drink the water, if she has defiled herself by breaking faith with her husband, the spell-inducing water shall enter into her to bring on bitterness, so that her belly shall distend and her thigh shall sag, and the woman shall become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is pure, she shall be unharmed and able to retain seed. Thus is the ritual, and in cases of jealousy, when a woman goes astray while married to her husband and defiles herself. Sounds like the first lie detector test. 30. And when a fit of jealousy comes over a man, and he is wrought up over his wife, the woman shall be made to stand before Yahweh, and the Kohen shall carry out all his ritual with her. The man shall be clear of guilt, but the woman shall suffer for her guilt. Wow. Chapter 6. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelites and say to them, if anyone, man or woman, explicitly utters a Nazirite vow to set himself apart for Yahweh, he shall obtain from wine and any other intoxicant. He shall not drink vinegar, nor of wine, or of any other intoxicant, neither shall he drink anything in which grapes have been steeped, nor eat grapes, fresh or dried. Throughout his term as Nazarite, he may not eat anything that is obtained from the grapevine, even seeds or skin. 5. Throughout the term of his vow as Nazarite, no razor shall touch his head. It shall remain consecrated until the completion of the term as Nazarite of Yahweh, the hair of his head being left to grow untrimmed. Throughout the term that he has set apart for Yahweh, he shall not go in where there is dead persons. Even his father or mother or his brother or sister should die. He must not defile himself for them, since hair set apart for his God is upon his head. Throughout his term as Nazarite, he is consecrated to Yahweh. If a person dies suddenly near him, defiling his consecrated hair, he shall shave his head on the day he becomes clean. He shall shave his head on the 7th day. 10. On the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons to the Kohen at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The Kohen shall offer one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering, and make expiation on his behalf for the guilt that is incurred throughout the corpse. The same day he shall consecrate his head and rededicate to Yahweh his term as Nazarite, and he shall bring a lamb on the first year as a penalty offering. The previous period shall be void, since he consecrated hair was defiled. This is the ritual of a Nazarite. On the day that his term as Nazarite is completed, he shall be brought to the entrance of the tent of meetings. As his offering to Yahweh, he shall present 1 male lamb in the first year without blemish. For a burnt offering, 1 ewe lamb in the first year without blemish. For a sin offering, and 1 without blemish for an offering of well-being. 15. A basket of unleavened cakes of choice flours with oil mixed in, and unleavened wafers spread with oil, and the proper meal offerings and libation. The Kohen shall present them before Yahweh, and offer the sin offering and the burnt offering. He shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of well-being to Yahweh, together with a basket of unleavened cakes. The Kohen shall also offer the meal offering and the libation. The Nazarite shall then shave his consecrated hair at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and take the logs of his consecrated hair and put them on the fire that is under the sacrifice of the well-being. The Kohanim shall take the shoulder of the lamb when it has been boiled, 1 unleavened cake from the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and place them on the hands of the Nazarite, and he has shaved his consecrated hair. 20. The Kohanim shall elevate them as an elevation offering before Yahweh, and this shall be a sacred donation to the Kohen. In addition to the press of the elevation offering and the fire of gift offering, after that the Nazarite may drink wine. Such is the oblation of the Nazarite, except that he who vows an offering to God of what he can afford beyond his Nazarite requirements must do exactly according to the vow that he has made beyond his obligation as a Nazarite. Yahweh spoke to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his sons. Thus shall you bless the people of Israel. Say to them, Yahweh bless you and protect you. Yahweh deal kindly and graciously with you. Yahweh bestow his favor upon you and grant you peace. Thus they shall link my name with the people of Israel, and I will bless them." Oh, wow. Chapter 7. On the day that Moses finished setting up the Mishkan, he anointed and consecrated it and all its furnishings, as well as the Mishpah and the utensils, when he had anointed and consecrated them. The chieftain of Israel, the heads of ancestral houses, namely the chieftains of the tribes, those who were in charge of enrollment, drew near and brought their offerings before Yahweh, 6 draught carts and 12 oxen, a cart for every 2 chieftains, and an ox for each one. When they had brought them before the Mishkan, Yahweh said to Moshe, Accept these from them for use of the service of the tent of meeting, and give them to the Levite according to their respective services." And Moshe took the carts and the oxen and gave them to the Levium. 2 carts and 4 oxen he gave to the Gershonites as required for their service, and 4 carts and 8 oxen he gave to the Merarites as required for their service, under direction of Itamar, the son of Aaron, the Kohen. But the Kohathites he did not give any, since there was the service of the most sacred objects. This portage was by shoulder. 10. The chieftains also brought the dedication offering of the Mishpah upon its being anointed. As the chieftains were presenting the offerings of the Mishpah, Yahweh said to Moshe, "Let them present their offerings for the dedication of the Mishpah, 1 chieftain each day. The one who presents his offering on the first day was Nashon, son of Aminadab, of the tribe of Yehudah. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekelim, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekelim by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for the meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in his first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice as well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Nachshon, son of Aminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, son of Suah, chieftain of Issachar, made his offering. He presented as his offering 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekelim, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekelim by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 20. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekelim filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in his first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That were the offerings of Nathaniel, son of Suah. On the third day, it was the chieftain of Zebulunites, Eliab, son of Helon. 25. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekelim, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekelim by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekelim filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in his first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. 30. On the 4th day, it was the chieftain of the Reubenites, Elizur, son of Shedeur. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl basin of 75 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. Excuse me. There we go. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in his first year of burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering. 35. And for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Elizur, son of Shedeur. On the 5th day, it was the chieftain of Simonite, Shalumiel, son of Surishadai. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekelim, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekelim by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in his first year for a burnt offering, one goat for a sin offering. 41. And for his choice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Shalumiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, it was the chieftain of Gadites, Eliasaph, son of Duel. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed, and for a meal offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 1 lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Eliasaph, son of Duel. On the 7th day, it was the chieftain of Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud. As offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense. 51. 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 1 lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, it was the chieftain of the Manassites, Gamliel, son of Pedahuzur. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 30 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in it, for a meal offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 1 lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Gamliel, son of Pedahuzur. On the 9th day, it was the chieftain of the Benjamites, Abidan, son of Gideoni. His offering, 1 silver bowl weight of 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour and oil mixed in for a meal offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 1 lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 6th day, it was the chieftain of the Danites, Ashisah, son of Ammishaddai. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in. For a meal offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram and 1 lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 he-goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. 72. On the 11th day, it was the chieftain of the Asherites, Pagiel, son of Ochran. His offering, 1 bowl of weight, 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 30 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 1 lamb in the first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Pagiel, son of Ochran. On the 12th day, it was the chieftain of the Naphtalites, Achriah, son of Enan. His offering, 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver basin of 30 shekels by the sanctuary weight, both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, 1 lamb in the first year for a burnt offering, 1 goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, and 5 yearling lambs. That was the offering of Asherah, son of Enan. This was the dedication offering for the Mizpah from the chieftain of Israel upon its being anointed. Silver bowls 12, silver basins 12, gold ladles 12, silver bowl 130 per basin, 70 total silver of vessels, 2,400 sanctuary shekels, 86. The 12 gold ladles filled with incense, 10 sanctuary shekels per ladle. The total of the ladles, 120. Total of herd animals for burnt offering, 12 bulls of rams, 12 of yearling lambs, 12, with the proper meal offering of goat for sin offering, 12. The total of herd animals for sacrifice of well-being, 24 bulls of rams, 60, of he-goats, 60, of yearling lambs, 60. That was the dedication offering for the Mizpah after its anointing. When Moshe went to the tent of meeting to speak with him, he would hear the voice addressing him from above to cover that was on top of the Aron Haparit between the 2 cherubim. Thus he spoke to him. This concludes the Torah reading. Let's turn over to Judges chapter 13. Starting on verse 21. Here we go. Through 32. Judges 13, starting on verse 21 through 32. All the towns of the tableland, and the entire kingdom of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had reigned in Heshbon. For Moshe defeated him, and the Midianites chief Evi, Rekam, Zur, Hor, and Reba, who had dwelt in the land as princes of Sihon. Together with the others that day slew, the Israelites put Balaam, son of Beor, the Augur, to sword. The boundary of the Reubenites was the edge of Jordan. That was the portion of the Reubenites for the various clans, those towns with their villages. To the tribes of Gad of various Gadites, clans, Moshe assigned the following, and it became the territory: Jazer, all the towns of Gilead, part of the country of the Ammonites, up to Ahor, which is close to Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramah, Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Lictor, and in the valley Beth Aram, Beth Nimrah, Sukkoth, and Saphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon, the king of Heshbon, down to the edge of the Jordan, and up to the tip of the sea of Shinar, on the east side of the Jordan. There was a portion of the Gadites for the various clans, those towns with their villages. And as for the half-tribe of Manasseh, Moses assigned the following, so that it went to a half-tribe of Manasseh for its various clans, and became the territory: Mahanaim, all of Bashan, the entire kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the Havoth, Yair in Bashan, 60 towns, and part of Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Ezer. The royal cities of Og and Bashan were assigned to the descendants of Mishra, son of Menash, to a part of the descendants of Mashir for their various clans. Those, then, were the portions of the Moshe assigned in the steppes of Moab on the east side of the Jordan. But no portion was assigned to Moshe, to the tribe of Levi. Yahweh, the God of Israel, is their portion, as he spoke concerning them. Well, we read a little further, but that's okay. I looked at the wrong thing. Let me read this again. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. So, let me read this. Starting in chapter 13, going chapter 2, Judges 13, verse 2, but we're going to start at verse 1 to 25. Yehoshua was an old, advanced in years. Yah said to him, You have grown old. You are advanced in years, and very much of the land still remains to be taken possession of. Thus is the territory that remains in all the districts of the Philippines, and all those of the Gershonites, from the Shiro, which is close to Egypt, to the territory of Ekron on the north, are accounted Canaanites, namely those of the 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazites and the Asherites, the Ashkolites and the Gittites, and the Ekronites, and those of the Avim. On the south, further, all the Canaanite country, from Merah to the Sidonian, to Abed of the Amorite border. 5. And the land of the Capitalites with the whole valley of the Lebanon from Baal-Gad at the foot of Mount Shemron to Lebo Hamath on the east, with all the inhabitants of all country from the valley of the Lebanon of Misrephoth, Mayim, namely all the Sidonians. I myself will dispossess those nations for the Israelites. I have only to apportion their lands by lot among Israel, as I have commanded you. Therefore, divide this territory into hereditary portions for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Now the Reubenites and the Gadites, along with the other half-tribe, have already received shares which Moses assigned them on the east side of the Jordan, as assigned to them by Moshe to the servant of Yahweh. From Iowa unto the edge of the Wadi Arnon, the town of in the middle of the Wadi, the entire tableland, from Medeba to Dibon. 10. Embracing all the towns of King Sihon of the Amorites, who had reigned in Heshbon, up to the border of the Ammonites. Further, Gilead, the territories of the Jebusites and the Makahites, and all the Mount Cameron, and the whole of Bashan up to Salak. The entire kingdom of Og, who had reigned over Bashan of Ashtaroth and Edrei. He was the last of the remaining Ephraim. These were defeated and disposed by Moshe. But the Israelites failed to disperse the Gershonites and the Mechabites and the Geshur and Machab among Israel in these days. No hereditary portion, however, was assigned to the tribe of Levi, their portion being the fire offering to Yahweh, the God of Israel, as he spoke concerning them. 15. And so Moshe assigned the foreign to the tribe of Reubenites for their various clans, and it became this: the territory of Aroer on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and the town of the middle of the Wadi, up to Medeba, the entire tableland, Heshbon, and all its towns in the tableland, Dibon, Bamoth, Baal, Beth-Baal, Meon, Yahaz, Kedemoth, Mepuaz, Kiriatham, Shipma, Seuf, Shah, in the hill of the valley, Beth Poer, and slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Yeshimoth, all the towns of the tableland, and the entire kingdom of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had reigned in Heshbon, for Moshe defeated them, and the Midianite chief, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hor, and Repah, who had dwelt in the land as princes of Sihon. 22. Together with the others that they slew, the Israelites put Balaam, son of Beor, the Augur, to the sword. The boundaries of the Reubenites was the edge of the Jordan. That was the portion of the Reubenites for their various clans, those towns with their village. To the tribe of Gideon, 24, to the tribe of Gad, for our various clans Moshe assigned the following. And it became the territory of Yasar, all the towns of Gilead, part of the country of the Amorites, up to Aroer, which is close to Rabbah. I'm sorry for the mess up with Judges chapter 13, and we'll continue reading in BeritHadasah, or the New Testament, in Maseh, also known as Acts chapter 21, starting on verse 17 through 32. So, let's follow me along, or read along, in Acts chapter 21, starting on verse 17. And when he had arrived in Jerusalem, the brothers received us gladly. And on the fellowship day, Shaul went in with us to Yaakov, and all the elders came. And having greeted them, he was related one by one with Elohim. 19. And having greeted them, he was relating one by one with on what Elohim had done among the Gentiles through his service. 20. And when they heard it, they praised the Adonai, and they said to him, You see, brother, how many thousands of Yehudim there are who have believed, and all are adherent with the Torah. And they have been informed about you, that you teach all the Yehudim who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moshe, saying not to circumcise the children, nor to walk according to the practice. 21. What then is it? They shall certainly hear that you have come. So do this, what we say to you. We have 4 men who have taken a vow. Take them and be cleansed with them, and pay their expenses, so they shave their heads, and shall know that what they have been informed about you is not true, but that you yourself also walk orderly, keeping the Torah. But concerning the Gentiles who believe, we have written and decided that they should keep themselves from what is offering to idols, and blood, and what is strangled, and whoring. 26. Then Shaul took the men on the next day, and having been cleansed with them, went into Mikdash to announce the completion of the days of separation, until the offering should be presented to each one of them. The Mikdash means the baptismal in English. And when he had 7 days were almost ended, the Jeduim from Asia, seeing him in the Mikdash, were stirring up all the crowd, and they laid hands on him, crying out, Men of Israel, help! This is the man who is teaching all men everywhere against the people and the Torah and this place. And besides, he also brought Yavanites into the Mikdash, and has performed his Mikdash, because they have previously seen Trophimus the Ephesians with him in the city, whom they thought that Shaul had brought into the Mikdash. And the entire city was moved, and the people rushed together, seized Shaul, and dragged him out of the Mikdash, and immediately the doors were shut. And while they were seeking to kill him, a report came to the commander of the squad that all Jerusalem was in confusion. At once he took soldiers and captains, and then ran to them. And they, having seen the commander and the soldiers, stopped beating Shaul. Let's go on for a little bit longer. Then the commander came near and took him and commanded him to be bound with 2 chains, and was asking who he was and what he had done. And the crowd, some were shouting this and others that, and not being able to ascertain the truth because of the uproar, he commanded him to be taken into the barracks. And when he came to the stairs, he had to be carried by the soldiers because of the violence of the crowd. For a large number of the people followed after, crying out, "Away with him!" And as Shaul was about to be led into the barracks, he said to the commander, "Am I allowed to say something to you?" And he said, "Do you know Yabonite? Are you not a Mitzrayite who some time ago stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 assassins out into the wilderness?" But Shaul replied, "I am a Yahudi from Tarsus in Gilgal, a citizen of no mean city. And I beg you, allow me to speak to the people." And having given him permission, Shaul, standing at the stairs, motioned with his hand to the people. And when there was a great silence, he spoke in the Hebrew language, saying, "Men and brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now." This concludes the reading of Acts chapter 21.